Evening there guys, and welcome to the day 3 update of the epic ride home. Following on from the day 2.5 debacle that was taking infinity and forever to get through Egyptian customs and be welcomed into Egypt, I had to take the decision to try and do the distance that I needed to cover today to get up to Suez, having not had a single wink of sleep. As a result of that, as I'm sure you can imagine, I am utterly knackered, totally and completely shattered. I am lucky that I only had one real moment on the bike today as a result of tiredness or loss of concentration. The rest of it I was able to mitigate by, instead of doing 120, 150 kilometers between fuel stops and water breaks, I was able to cut that down to about 80 to 100. So I was able to get more breaks, but I did have one moment where I was sort of riding along and I suddenly went, I've just woken up, which was, as I'm sure you can imagine, terrifying when you're doing 120, 140 kilometers an hour just cruising along the roads. How am I doing? How is the bike doing in terms of actual physical fleshy stuff? Well, having spent 36 hours in the same socks, the same trousers, the same boots, and in heat that didn't get below 45, my feet are a mess. I've got blisters on toes on one foot, I've got blisters on my ankle on the other foot, and peeling my boots off, it wasn't a pretty sight. Think World War I trench foot, and you're probably not far wrong. I've got a couple of blisters on my hands, on my thumbs, and I've got a rather impressive heat, chafing, whatever rash on the tops of my legs, the seat of my backside, so to speak. I'm not entirely sure what the hell I'm going to do about that, but I'm just going to have to deal with it for tomorrow, because tomorrow I need to make it from Suez up to Alexandria, and that is the last of my must do this mileage days. On Thursday I will be popping down to the transport office, the company who are handling the transfer of my bike to Italy, and I'll be doing all of the paperwork. And then Friday is the weekend here in Egypt, so that is effectively a day off for me and for everybody else. I was originally planning on doing a ride sort of around Alexandria, along the coast, Port Said, maybe pop down into Cairo and then back up to Alexandria, but as I say, with the state I'm in at the moment, that is definitely not going to be happening. And then I'm expecting to hand the bike over on the Saturday the 22nd and then fly out of Egypt late that night, early Sunday morning. The bike itself, the bike is coping admirably, but does seem to be showing some ill effects. The starter motor sounded quite weak, and the bike was quite difficult to start later on this afternoon. I could probably put that down to excessive use of the starter though, because I've had a lot of stop-start today. The Egyptian security forces, for whatever reason, are putting up checkpoints around about every 50 kilometers. So you get white boy on a motorbike pitching up on one of these checkpoints, and they all want to know who I am, what I'm doing, where I've come from, where I'm going, what my profession is, what my inside leg measurement is. They want to know bloody everything, and they want to see my license, they want to see my paperwork, they want to see everything for the bike. I tried to keep in good spirits, but considering that I've had absolutely no sleep, it really did grate on me towards the end of the day, and I was starting to get a bit short with security forces who are carrying AK-47s. Probably not a good move. So I can either put that down to excessive use of starter motor in the heat, or I can put it down to some dicky fuel, because I can only get the best fuel that I can get out here is 92 RON. In the UK we enjoy 95 and 98. In Saudi Arabia I had the choice of 91, which I very rarely use, or 95, which is what I normally go for, the premium stuff. So I can put it down to those. I'm going to see how the bike copes tomorrow, and chances are I'm going to be going by Ducati in Cairo anyway, because I need a new front tyre. My front tyre is pretty much toast. So it seems logical, having pre-warned them that I was coming in this direction, to swing by and see if they can help me out, get a bit of support from the Ducatis. So tomorrow should be quite interesting. Like I say, I'm just north of Suez, and I've managed to tick off a box that I never thought I would ever tick off. Not that I was ever thinking of ticking it off, but I've ridden my motorbike underneath the Suez Canal. It was a monumental ball ache, because Egyptian security basically versus white boy. They all think I'm American. They all think I'm a terrorist that wants to bomb them. I don't quite get the who, the what, the why, the whens, all the hows, but that's the way it is. I'm in their country, I've got to deal with it. So that was quite interesting. And like I say, I've got to go from Suez. I've got to end up in Alexandria tomorrow. I haven't even had a chance to look at how much mileage that's going to be, but I'm going to get my head down now, having checked into the hotel that I was actually supposed to end up in, which is a pleasant bonus, really. And then I'm going to try and get as early a start as I reasonably can. So thank you very much for watching. I hope I haven't bored you. There's a lot of mistakes that I have made, and there's a lot of things that I wouldn't normally choose to do, but I'm forced to under the circumstances. And I will look forward to discussing those in greater detail across other videos very soon. So cheers guys, I'm going to get my head down because I am absolutely bollocksed. Masalama.